Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I got a couple requests to go over my gear and show you guys how it works, so I'm gonna do just that. So, starting right into it, like I said, we're gonna check out some of my gear. I'm seeing what I should start off with. The first thing we're gonna start off with is the weapon of choice. Right here, I have pole spear, which on my end, I feel like a pole spear is the best beginning thing because all you gotta do is hold this with your thumb, pull it. If you have a little grip right here, you can hold on to that, aim at the fish, and then let go of the band, and it propels this forward into the fish, and you got your fish. There's a couple attachments to this. Let me see if I can grab one real quick. This is a 3-prong. I usually use a 3-prong or a slip tip. This is the 3-prong, just 3 prongs, like the name says, has little barbs. But this is good beginning for perch, croaker, like the croaker have been coming in. It's really versatile for this one. And I like the slip tip for a little bigger fish because you can shoot it and then it's like a little line attached. But you just keep screwing that on, take this off, and you got yourself a nice looking pole spear. So the second weapon of choice I wanted to show you guys is a spear gun. As you can see, there is a protector so you don't poke yourself. There's a flopper. When it goes into the fish, this will engage, see it stays up there, and it'll keep the fish from just sliding right off the shaft. And you can see, you see the shaft goes straight into here. We got the bands. You pull these back. At first time you use a gun, it might be pretty hard to pull these back. You could ask for help for someone who already has used a gun before, or you can only start with one band. For mine, I just had to break them in for a couple times, and then I could get them to both of these hooks right here. And you stretch the band out, and it goes all the way down here. Like I said, first time, pretty hard, but you'll get it eventually. And another feature about this gun is, you see that little hole right there? You could put paracord or line or something like that through there, so you could attach it to your weight belt, which I'll get to the weight belt in a second. Or you could attach it to a float line so you don't lose your gun. And here is the safety. See this? Safety. That is not safety. So usually when I'm holding my gun, just to be extra safe, I always have it on safety. Then either when I dive down or I see a fish, I turn it off and make sure it's not pointing at anybody, and then go down and get that fish. And real quick, I'll show you guys how to shoot the gun. I'll probably have a tutorial in this too when I go spearfishing next time. But turn the safety off. Aim at the fish. Right now it is not loaded. And then, see all this line that was going? This is kind of like just like the line that attaches to the shaft so you can have room for the fish to swim away. And all you do is get your shaft, put it through here, goes under the bands, all the way back into here. But you don't just push it in there, you gotta make sure it clicks. Like that. Make sure it doesn't move, and then you're all good. But after that, you gotta wrap this around on that. Also, if you get a gun, you could ask the store manager or whoever you got it by to help you do this, or one of your friends that has a similar spear gun. But wrap it around that. Come back up here. I might not show it as well, but go back here. And it'll be pretty easy to put it second time on this because this elastic band that helps you stretch it back. Turn it back on safety, and then you either have the pad right here, and then I'll show this in a video, but pull this back. Right now I don't have any padding, so it kind of hurts because it's a little hard, like I said, but that's mostly about the spear gun, and let's get on to the next thing. Alright guys, so next off we have the mask. Mask and snorkel. Here's the snorkel. This is from Lost Winds Dive Shop. So is the gun and the pole spear. Most of my stuff is from there. But this is just open. So when it goes down, water goes in. There's no bubbles coming out. I usually take it out for safety purposes, for blackouts. This is where I screw on my GoPro. And this, put on here. Like that. This goes on your head. Pretty simple. Always gotta keep this thing nice. And yeah, there's the mask. So next thing we have is gloves. These are pretty essential for spearfishing. I could spearfish without them, of course, but if you don't want to get poked by those pokey fish, or it's lobster season, I use these for lobsters because the back, when you're sticking your hands in the hole, the front, the top tend to get caught a little bit, so this helps a little bit more. The lobster are pretty strong. Like, that whole tail is just full of muscle, and they could pretty hurt you really bad. See, there's a lobster spine that went straight through the glove. But anyways, there's the glove. You use these for spearfishing. I use these ones for lobster diving because of the armor on the back. But I'll show you guys one more glove. These ones are inside out. These are the Waihana. These are good because of this right here. This is kind of for a sling, or not a sling, the pole spear. Because when you put them on, this helps your. I think also gloves. It helps you load up your pole spear way more. Because without gloves, it just kind of tears that apart. My friends, they've done a bunch without gloves one time, and they just got super cut up right there. Because it is just a massive rubber band. You're doing it multiple times. That's also another benefit about the pole spear, because you miss something, just load it right back up, shoot it. But with the gun, of course, if you miss, you gotta reload it. And that takes like a couple minutes. But with the pole spear, miss it, just reload it real quick, and try again. But the gun does have a lot more range. So there is pros and cons. The gun is a little bit more advanced, I'd say. And the pole spear is way much easier to use. If you're just beginning, I would recommend the pole spear. Anyways, we have a stringer. When you get a fish, I just put these through the gills and out the mouth. And you could attach this to your weight belt, or sometimes I just put the fish on here, and then I clip this like that, just go right through that hole, clip it onto this, and I just put that in my bag so I have them on a stringer. So just in case my bag opens, they're all on one thing. So there's my stringer. Put that down. Here is you could get this at first, because I generally like this. This could hold a couple lobsters, or even if you're like just snorkeling, I like this because if I'm like going on a trip, like at Hawaii or something, or anywhere else, I could pick up seashells and all that other stuff in here. But the real lobster bag that I usually use is right here. It's the Lost Winds Dive Shop. Here's a little handle, or this is, I'll show you guys this first. This is the clip. Not too hard to understand. You just have this, clip it to your belt right here, and with this, you just squeeze and then release, and it closes, and then if you pull it open, it could lock, so you need to put a bunch of lobsters in there or grab lobsters. You could use that. You could hold a bunch of fish in here too. Put this on your float line, which I'll get to that, and you just close it back up. Great versatile dive bag. Since I have a pretty thick wetsuit, it depends how much your wetsuit is, if it's thicker or anything, because I mean, the more buoyant you are, the more weight you need in. Wetsuits are pretty buoyant because it's like another layer of blubber kind of. But I just put this around. Let me move you guys real quick. Put this around my waist. Got my just standard carabiners there for if I need them. Put this through here. And like I said, if you ever need help putting this on, you could ask your buddies or the dive shop to show you how to do it too. But just put it through there. Pretty simple, and then you tighten it, clip back down there. This, usually I put it down behind here, and then if you ever need to, if you're in an emergency, if this gets caught on something, you can always just unclip it real quick, falls down, and you'll just float to the surface, because wetsuit's really buoyant. This is, I think, about 8 pounds. I got 2 on the back, 2 on my hips. Like I said, you could clip a lot of things here. You could clip dive bag, clip for lobster. I could clip my spear gun to these carabiners. My stringer, clip it straight onto there. Boom, put that through, put this bag down in here, got a stringer. Alright, one more thing about the dive belt is the dive knife. Got this rife, if you guys can see that as much, but I could use these to, I brain fish, put them out of their misery. That's also a good thing if like this like slips, you have gloves to protect your hand, but usually this is pretty sharp, so it might cut through your glove, but this is just extra protection. And you just gotta be careful with this thing if you don't want to cut yourself. But here's a thing so you don't drop it. Oh, I dropped my knife. Well, good thing I have the wrist thing on, doesn't drop to the bottom of the ocean. You could use it if you get stuck in line, you just cut it, kelp, you can cut it. I put it right down through here, put this down there, so now it's all there. Take that off, take that out. Really good dive knife. All right, next thing, we got the float line. It's kind of tangled up right now, but this is 25 feet. This line floats, but it's also because float. Here's this bad boy. Show you the features of this one. There is a 2-pound weight in there to keep it buoyant like that. There's a flag. You take this out, stick it in this, and it points up. There's a dive flag. So if you're going Dana Point Harbor, there's like on the outside of it, the jetty, there's boats. This tells you that there's your spearfishing or free diving. You could clip, like I said, you could clip to the dive bag. You could clip the dive bag to your float and keep your fish on there, so you don't have like a chum bag on your waist. But you could. I usually clip this. I clip it to here, clip it on there. One thing about the clip, it doesn't go in here. You want everything to be in that little hole. And then yeah, you want the thing to be in that little hole. I can't really show it right now, but here's this. This is a blow up. Really thick, really hard. Another thing about the float line, clip it to this. I can clip it to my belt, so I can have this on my belt, just coming through. Or I can clip it to my gun, so if I need to let go of my gun, it's attached to a giant bobber, practically. So it's not going anywhere. This, I usually use it for carrying things and safety. So that is a really important one. Usually in really shallow places, like our spot that's like 15 feet deep, I usually don't bring it, but sometimes I'll bring it. And I have a little thing to keep my float line. This is just a Velcro, keep my float line all not tangled up all the time, but it's tangled up right now. Alright, this is the Waihana wetsuit. Right now it's inside out. This is a wetsuit top. I don't have a video of me putting this on, but there's many videos of this on the internet. But you do of how to put this on. You do have to put some lubricant on the inside of this, because like I said, it's kind of sticky when you first get it. So you gotta mix it with conditioner and water, so it's like a soapy lubricant, and it helps you slip right on into this, because when it's really dry, it just like sticks straight to your skin, so you won't be able to slip it on. Alright, now we have the fin socks. These keep your feet warm, all cozy. If your fins aren't, like, for mine, if I put just through my feet without the fin socks, they kind of slip out kind of easily. So these, make sure they don't slip out as much. My experience, they're kind of easier to put on with these. See, I'm putting a little wear and tear from going on to Seal Rock, which if you haven't seen that video, make sure to go check that out, Calico Chaos, after watching this. But here's a couple little holes in that. I gotta make sure to keep those things nice. But now we're gonna get to the fins. Oh, actually, one more thing about this. This is also a hoodie. Surf wetsuits, you could use them. It's getting into summer, so it's gonna get better for spearfishing, and it's gonna get warmer, of course. But right now, it's still pretty cold. If you're going in deep places, this goes over your head. And I'm not gonna show you guys a tutorial how to put them on, but if you wanna watch that, there's probably there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there how to put them on, but I don't have a video of me putting them on. Alright, so last but not least, we have the fins. Pretty good. These are my Cressy fins. They're, as you can see, they're really scratched up. I've had them for a long time. On other spots, super rocky, super shallow, so these get pretty scratched up, but I've had these for a long time, and they're really good. These are classic dive fins. I started out with just some classic boogie boarding fins. These work, but as you can see, it's more of this, and this, the flipper does more of the work. It's more flexible, And I got these ones because usually we're in shallow places. There's longer ones that are for deeper diving, which I've been doing, but these still work great. Here's my other one. As you can see, pretty torn up, but they last really, really good. And you can change this, the little cartridge. You see these come off, and you could screw a new one in if you need one, a new one. But yeah, that's mostly it. We're gonna go spearfishing now. So, see you guys in the water, and I'll show you guys how to use some of that stuff.
Ew.